Welcome back. We have why there aren't many rooftop solar panels in Alabama, a new pastor at one of the state's biggest churches, and a call out to anyone in the Huntsville area with a bunch of extra houses. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. When it comes to solar power in Alabama, you're a little more likely these days to see a solar farm, but you still don't come across too many rooftops with solar panels on them. That could change if solar advocates can get federal help in prodding regulators here to get rid of Alabama Power's solar fee. The Solar Energy Industries Association, or SEIA, is a trade group that represents solar manufacturers and installers. The SEIA keeps data on residential solar information in each state and Washington, D.C. And out of every state in D.C., Alabama ranks 49th out of 51 for residential solar installations, reports AL.com's Dennis Pillion. We're behind everybody except North Dakota and South Dakota. We'd be next to last if someone hadn't for some reason decided to make the Dakotas separate states. Now also, with another stat, the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy puts out an annual solar report for the Southeast, and that report came out last week, ranked Alabama last in total solar development. Now, critics say part of the reason behind our coming in so low in these rankings is that Alabama Power charges that significant fee for customers who install solar panels. Alabama Power says it needs to charge that fee to pay for having backup power available for solar customers. The Public Service Commission, which is in place to represent Alabama Power customers and regulate the utility, in 2013 allowed a $5 per kilowatt of solar capacity per month, and last year allowed Alabama Power to hike that up to $5.41 per kilowatt. Now, for an average-sized solar system, that means a fee of somewhere around $20 to $32 a month, which makes it a lot harder to cost-justify going solar. Groups that are seeking to make the Alabama PSC strike down that fee may have a ray of hope in their efforts. The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission's chairman and commissioner have said they have concerns the fee may violate federal energy laws. The Alabama PSC has argued in response to that the fee is fair because solar customers should share in some of the costs of the power plant's lines and poles that they would use when their solar panels aren't producing. If those solar customers no longer share that cost, it would be fully shifted to the non-solar folks. Meantime, the Alabama Solar Industry Association, which represents the solar companies in Alabama, said its members are running up against that fee when they try to sell in the state. From a filing by that group, quote, once potential solar customers learn of the capacity reservation charge and how it would affect the economics of acquiring and installing solar equipment, they usually elect not to do so. One of Alabama's largest churches will have a new senior pastor come September. AL.com's Greg Garrison reports that Shades Mountain Baptist Church in Vestavia Hills has unanimously voted to approve the Reverend George Wright as the replacement for the Reverend Danny Wood, who's been in the position since 1997. Shades Mountain Baptist has had only a couple of senior pastors over the past half century. Wood's been there around 24 years, and before him you had Charles T. Carter for 26 years. The Reverend Wright has been pastor of Shandon Baptist Church in Columbia, South Carolina since 2017. Shades Mountain has a congregation of about 7,800 members. The Down in Alabama podcast isn't here to dispense financial advice, but if you want to sell a house, now doesn't seem to be too bad a time to do it. And during this seller's market, Huntsville, Alabama finds itself in a particularly uncommon situation. AL.com's Lee Roop reports that according to the Huntsville Association of Realtors, there are more than 6 realtors operating primarily in Madison County per house for sale in Madison County. More precisely, they have about 6.5 people trying to sell houses per house there is to sell. Part of the quote-unquote problem is that so many people are moving into Huntsville right now. Mazda Toyota is bringing in 3,000 workers, the FBI 1,400, and we all know by now that Space Command is coming to town. In other words, they need houses to sell. Huntsville Area Association of Realtors President Zelda Friedman, quote, if anyone is on the fence about selling the house, this is a great time to do it. Thank y'all for listening. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, stop by and see us anytime you can on the World Wide Web at al.com.